All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to start by looking at a single grain of rice and then zoom all the way out to see how its exact measurements literally dictate massive commercial outcomes for UK wholesalers. If you're importing Pakistani Basmati, you probably already know it's highly prized for its aroma, that incredible grain elongation, and of course, competitive pricing. But today we're zooming in on the precise specifications that separate just a standard order from a highly profitable one. Here's our roadmap. We'll be covering the low broken advantage, strict import specs, the AHK quality process, commercial returns and pricing, shipping logistics to the UK, and exactly how importers get started. Section 1. The low broken Basmati advantage. The commercial impact of a single metric.
So, when UK buyers are out there evaluating multiple suppliers, why are they increasingly focused on broken percentage? Well, this is the exact question that separates a highly profitable import from an absolute customer service disaster. Why fixate on broken grains? Because they actually cook differently than whole grains. A higher ratio of broken grains creates this mushy, inconsistent texture, which ruins plate presentation and, you guessed it, drives up customer complaints.
The crucial point here is this specific metric, a broken percentage of between just 1 and 5%. That right there is your sweet spot. Hitting this specific range drastically reduces cooking losses, boosts customer satisfaction, and ultimately protects your resale margin by retaining that premium long-grain look everyone wants.
Section 2. Why 1% matters. Understanding strict import specifications.
To secure the correct grade and avoid messy quality disputes, UK buyers require intense precision. Yes, you absolutely need that 1 to 5% broken ratio we just talked about. But look at the surrounding data. Moisture must be strictly capped between 12 and 14%. Purity needs to hit that 95 to 100% mark, and grain length, that has to hit a microscopic window of exactly 6.8 to 8.4 millimeters. Defining these parameters up front means absolutely zero surprises when those container doors finally open. Let's look at some practical applications. Picture your standard ethnic retail supermarket. Customers buy the rice, cook it, notice that perfect grain separation, and that consistent quality is exactly what drives their repeat purchases. Now, contrast that with a high-stakes food service scenario, like wedding caterers. They need flawless, uniform presentation across literally hundreds of servings at a time. There is no margin for error there. In both cases, this strict specification is what actually protects the business.
And to protect those commercial returns, proper warehouse storage is absolutely vital. Simply keeping the rice in cool, dry storage yields a solid shelf life of 18 to 24 months. Upgrade to a controlled warehouse environment and you push that to 24 months or more. Conversely, if you leave it in high humidity, that will actively degrade the grain and risk your entire investment.
Section 3. The AHK quality process from paddy to export verification.
UK importers require serious reliability, right? AHK Rice achieves this through a super strict 9-step factory sequence. First, they clean the paddy, dehusk the grain, and dry the rice. Next comes the real precision work, polishing the kernels, sorting them by exact length, and grading them by those tight specifications we just laid out. Finally, the color sort for any defects, inspect the final output, and verify export standards. Literally every single grain is accounted for.
On top of that intensive 9-step milling process, AHK Rice provides a critical safety net before dispatch. We're talking strict moisture control, broken grading, metal detection, and full fumigation. They also manage the container inspection and all the heavy export documentation. It's essentially a comprehensive shield that catches any potential issue way before it ever leaves Pakistan.
Section 4. Commercial returns and pricing. Balancing quality with procurement costs. So, how do all these intense quality checks translate to the actual price you pay? Well, pricing isn't just a flat rate you pull off a shelf. It fluctuates heavily based on a few key factors. For example, how strictly you grade that broken percentage really matters. 1% broken requires significantly more sorting than 5%, so naturally it costs more. The specific variety matters too, like 1121 Basmati, which commands higher pricing due to its exceptional grain length. Then you've got to factor in custom or private label packaging, seasonal market shifts, and of course, ocean freight rates to your destination port. Container volume also plays a huge role in pricing. Because full container orders achieve way better economies of scale, AHK Rice scales its volume handling based on buyer types. As you can see, retailers are typically bringing in 1 to 2 containers, while distributors might pull anywhere from 2 to 10. Food service suppliers usually need 1 to 5, and private label brands, leveraging custom packaging, often scale all the way up from 2 to 20 containers. Your volume directly dictates the leverage you have on that final landed price.
Now, to absolutely eliminate procurement risk before buying massive multi-container orders, professional buyers move through a standard sample process. First, submit your specs and get grade options. Then, request physical samples and actually test the cooking performance in your own facilities. You evaluate the aroma and check that broken percentage yourself. Only after you approve the specs, you confirm the quotation and finalize the production schedule. And, verifying that quality up front is surprisingly cost-effective. The sample product itself, often completely free. You're typically just looking at courier charges, ranging from about 25 to 80 British pounds, with optional lab testing managed on your end. Paying 50 quid for a courier is a remarkably small price to pay to ensure a 10-container shipment perfectly matches your customer's exact expectations.
Section 5. Shipping to the UK. Planning inventory and transit times.
Once everything is finalized, mapping out your inventory timeline reveals exactly where the bottlenecks are. Production takes about 7 to 15 days, followed by a few days for documentation and port handling. But the vast majority of your timeline, that's eaten up by the 28 to 40-day ocean transit, ending with 2 to 7 days for customs clearance. Understanding this pipeline is absolutely crucial for timing your stock replenishment so you never run dry.
Depending on your specific commercial hub in the UK, AHK Rice coordinates these schedules to optimize delivery. Transit times do vary slightly by port. Getting product into Felixstowe or Southampton can take as little as 28 days, whereas Liverpool or London might stretch closer to that 40-day mark. It's a logistical puzzle, but it directly impacts when your product actually hits the shelves.
Section 6. How importers get started. Taking action on your procurement strategy.
Sourcing successfully means defining your exact parameters first, long before you ever ask for a quotation. You've got to know your broken percentage requirement, your desired grain length, and your exact packaging formats up front. Establish your target pricing, too. Only after establishing those targets should you request a quote, review grades, test samples, and finally confirm production and shipment. Precision up front totally prevents massive problems down the line.
And you don't have to navigate all this alone. By partnering with a supplier like AHK Rice, you secure a reliable exporter capable of matching your specific needs to the harsh realities of the UK wholesale market. They support buyers with everything: sourcing, grading, documentation, inspection, shipment, packaging, and certification. It really is the whole shebang.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought for your next procurement cycle. If top-tier UK buyers are evaluating basmati rice using strict, measurable specifications rather than just hunting for the cheapest price tag, how will you define your requirements to secure your next supply? Are you buying on price alone and just hoping for the best, or are you defining the data that actually protects your business and guarantees quality? Define your specs, test your samples, and build a truly resilient supply chain.